Have you ever heard of the term red herring and wondered what it's all about? Perhaps you've come across this phrase in a book, a movie, or a conversation. The red herring isn't just any ordinary phrase, it's an idiom, a colorful part of our language, steeped in history and used in myriad ways. It's more than meets the eye, and its story is as fascinating as the phrase itself. Stay tuned as we delve into the intriguing world of the idiom red herring. Before we dive into its history, let's first understand what red herring means. In essence, a red herring is a metaphor used to describe something that misleads or distracts from the actual issue at hand. It's like a wild goose chase, a detour from the main point, a rabbit trail leading nowhere. Let's paint a picture with a couple of examples. Imagine you're a detective, hot on the trail of a jewel thief. Suddenly, you find a clue that seems too good to be true. It leads you on a wild chase, but ultimately it's unrelated to your investigation. That, my friends, is a classic red herring. Or picture a political debate where a candidate skillfully diverts attention from a difficult question by bringing up an unrelated but emotionally charged issue. Again, that's a red herring in action. Now that we know what it means, you might be wondering where this phrase came from. The history of red herring takes us back to the early 19th century. It was first documented in 1807 by an English journalist, William Cobbett. Cobbett was known for his wit and biting political commentary, but perhaps less known is his contribution to the world of idioms. Now, if you're imagining a fish with a scarlet hue, you're not too far off. The term red herring actually refers to a smoked herring fish, which, as a result of the smoking process, takes on a reddish-brown color. But what does a fish have to do with a misleading clue, you might wonder? Well, here's where it gets interesting. In the old days, smoked herrings were used to train hunting dogs. The strong, pungent smell of the red herring was used to lay a trail for these dogs to follow. However, occasionally, a herring's scent was purposefully used to divert the dog's attention from the scent of their quarry, thus testing their ability to stick to the original scent. So, you see, the red herring was a distraction, a deviation from the path that the dog was supposed to follow. It was a test, a challenge for the dog to overcome. This is where the metaphorical usage of red herring comes into play. Over time, this practice of using a red herring as a diversion trickled into the language and started being used metaphorically. When someone throws a red herring into a conversation, they're introducing a topic that diverts from the main issue, just like the smoked fish diverted the hunting dogs from their original scent trail. In essence, red herring became an idiom to signify any misleading clue or distraction, something that draws attention away from the matter at hand. It's a fascinating example of how everyday practices can seep into our language and shape it in unexpected ways. So, from a training technique for hunting dogs, red herring evolved into an idiom we use to describe a misleading clue or distraction. Today, red herring has permeated our daily conversations and even our media. The phrase has found a comfortable home in the realm of literature, particularly in mystery and detective novels. Authors often use a red herring to throw readers off the trail of the true culprit, creating unexpected plot twists and feeding our insatiable appetite for suspense. Consider the best-selling thriller novels of the 21st century. Many of them cleverly employ red herrings to lead readers astray, only to reveal the actual villain in the closing chapters, much to everyone's surprise. It's this tantalizing element of misdirection that keeps us turning the pages, late into the night. This idiom's influence doesn't stop at the written word. It's also a favorite tool in the toolbox of screenwriters and filmmakers. Think about the last time you watched a movie or a TV show, and you were utterly convinced that a particular character was the villain only to find out you were wrong. That, my friends, was a red herring at work, expertly deployed to keep you guessing until the very end. Even in our everyday conversations, we might use red herrings unknowingly. When we divert a conversation to avoid a certain topic or to mislead someone, we're essentially using a red herring. So, next time you come across a misleading clue in a book, a movie, or even a conversation, you'll know that's a red herring. And there you have it, the fascinating journey of the term red herring. We've delved into its intriguing meaning, traced its historical origins, and seen its usage in today's context. Thanks for joining us on this linguistic adventure. Until next time, keep exploring the world of language.